Welcome to Blake Museum. This is Bridgwater's Museum of Local History and Archaeology, which is located in a very old house where it is said Admiral Robert Blake of Bridgwater was born.
What we have here is a bat which was used by Ian Botham in the 1981 Ashes series.
We're at Hetheringham Gardens, which is over 40 acres of beautiful gardens. We've got the formal gardens, and we've got the rest of the acreage is all landscape gardens where there's follies and cascades and all sorts of lovely things. But the formal gardens are very, very famous.
He was probably one of the first icons of that particular age. He sort of developed a method of walking to the wicket, swinging his bat with both arms, which was mimicked by small boys throughout the country. And he was a superstar.
Right, this is a model of a late 18th century revenue cutter, a small ship that could go into a shallow draft that would be able to go into shallow waters and catch smugglers, which of course were abundant in the Bristol Channel. People trying to avoid paying taxes on spirits and fine cloths and lace and things from the continent coming in that they would normally have to pay tax on.
In the 60s, when Bill Alley, another all-rounder from Somerset, scored 3,000 runs in one season, he was using a bat just that thick. Botham and Graham Gooch, who captained England, were sort of the forerunners of people who used these thick, heavy bats, and you've got to be a very strong man to lift them in time to sort out the fast bowlers. The thicker the edge, the further it flies.
Philip White actually discovered them, and it was an absolute mess. He went up to the landscape gardens, which was all grown over. It was just completely, you couldn't even see the lake, and he has himself actually, over the last 12 years, taken it all back, restored it.
It does create an enormous amount of interest because of the man who wielded it and the circumstances of its use.
The nice thing about being a museum is that people can just come into, and it's free of admission, is people can dip into what interests them and go out again and take another bite another time. Different museums mean different things to different people, but I think it's very important that people can learn about the past of a place so they can understand its future as well, and that young people growing up today, ought to have a place where they can find out about the past. And for the older people, they want to reminisce about what it used to be like.